Stop! A thunderous voice rang out, causing the crowd to fall into silence in an instant. Startled, everyone looked over at once and saw a tall figure walking in, exuding an overwhelming wave of murderous intent. Tension immediately ensued in the atmosphere, which was on fire just a moment ago. Those who were in revealing clothes couldn't help but shudder. Dustin. When Natasha saw who it was, a wave of joy flooded her, as if she had found a life savior. So it's you. Jailer snorted upon taking a closer look at him. Why do you have to bring trouble on yourself when you can easily avoid it? Today I'm going to let you watch your woman being humiliated. All of you deserve death. Seeing Natasha being hung up and covered in bloody scratches and wounds, Dustin clenched his fists hard, his expression darkening. A great sense of wrath flooded his soul so intensely that he almost lost his mind. Rhys, are you furious? But so what? Your woman is in my hands right now. I can do whatever I want to her. Then, she turned to the sheep-masked man. Hey, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and enjoy your time with the beauty. You don't have to hold back. Serve her well in front of her man. Jailer cackled presumptuously. I'm loving this. The sheep-masked man was pumped up. As he rubbed his hands like he couldn't wait to devour her whole, his body began to tremble in excitement at the same time. If you dare to lay a finger on her, I guarantee you that you will have a tragic end. Dustin threatened. Haha. Not only do I want to touch her, but I also want to lick her all over. What can you do about that? The sheep-masked man stuck out his tongue deliberately and licked Natasha's leg. You're asking for death. Dustin's face fell, and he flicked his wrist abruptly. With a swish, a silver needle shot out in an instant and directly pierced the spot between the man's eyebrows. The sheep-masked man froze. The next second, he collapsed to the floor, having breathed his last. That was a bolt from the blue. The remaining guests were scared out of their wits and screamed in fear. How dare you kill someone in my territory? You must have gotten tired of living, flying. A group of bodyguards obeyed at once and dashed over with their weapons drawn. Whoever stands in my way will die. Dustin's eyes were red as he continued making advances instead of retreating. All the bodyguards who approached him had their heads severely injured by just one punch from Dustin. None of them survived, and blood was all over the floor. Clearly, Dustin wasn't showing them any mercy. Looking at Dustin, who was soaked in blood, the onlookers scattered away in fear of being the next target. After getting rid of the group of bodyguards, Dustin immediately ran up the stage and broke the chains tying Natasha up. Are you okay? When Dustin saw her disfigured face, his heart bled for her. Taking off his coat in a hurry, he wrapped it around her petite body, which was shivering due to the cold. We can't stay here for long. Let's leave. Natasha staggered to stand up. Since the Harmon's shadow guards had been killed so easily and without anyone knowing, there were obviously skilled fighters hiding in this place. Do you think you can leave? Jailer snorted. Listen up, lupine guards. Kill this man for me. Right then, 10 black-clad figures suddenly walked out of the shadows. All of them were masked and had an intimidating aura. They were the ones who finished off the shadow guards earlier. Lupine guards are made up of the best elites. Each of them has fought in countless battles and possesses exceptional fighting skills. With them around, today is going to be the day of your death. He should feel honored for being able to die at the hands of the Lupine Guard. When the Grant's highly skilled guards appeared, the rest of the guests became excited, as if they were watching a show. This is bad. Natasha's expression changed. Dustin, you don't have to care about me. Hurry up and leave. Get help from the Harmon family. She knew Dustin was strong, but Lupine guards were experts when it came to fighting. She would just weigh Dustin down if they tried to escape together. What are you talking about? How can I possibly leave you alone here? Dustin reached out and grabbed her hand. But it's going to be difficult to escape if you bring me along. Natasha frowned. She didn't want Dustin to risk his life because of her. Who said that I was going to escape? Dustin looked around with a piercing gaze. I'm going to kill all of them tonight. Stop being insolent. Do you even have the ability to do that? Jailer sneered. All the Lupine guards were carefully selected by Tyler. Even the Harmon's shadow guards were not a match for them, let alone a country bumpkin. You can see for yourself. Dustin provoked, his expression indifferent. Well, since you're so desperate to die, I don't mind making your wish come true. With a wave of her hand, Jailer ordered, Elton, kill him. The leader of the Lupine Guards, Elton Pearson, obeyed and directly drew out his weapon, closing in on Dustin. Although the former wasn't making any sound, he was emanating a strong and overwhelming aura. As soon as Dustin was within his attack range, Elton immediately sped up and swung his machete to strike at him. Die. It was a powerful charge. However, the moment Dustin threw a punch at him, Elton's attack fell apart at the seams in an instant. His simple and straightforward punch directly pierced Elton's chest before the latter could swing his weapon down for an attack. Elton widened his eyes in shock at the sight of Dustin's bloody fist that had penetrated his body. It had all happened too fast. Elton barely had time to react. Then, Dustin swung his arm and hurled Elton to the wall, leaving a patch of blood on it. Everyone was dumbfounded at the sight before them. Elton was an extremely formidable existence, but now he had been killed by Dustin in just one move. It was simply hard to believe. How is this even possible? Looking at Elton's corpse, Jailer was stunned. Her face was full of disbelief. That was the powerful leader of the Lupine Guards, and now he's dead, she muttered inwardly. How dare you kill our leader? Today is going to be your death day. After recovering from their shock, the remaining 9 Lupine Guards flew off the handle and surged forward at him with their weapons drawn. Expressionless, Dustin stomped his foot all of a sudden. With a loud boom, the floor cracked the next second. A burst of violent true energy then presented itself in an instant and smashed fiercely onto the guards. As if they had been knocked down by a train, the Lupine Guards were sent flying across the air, blood gushing out of their mouths. All it took was a stomp, and every one of the Lupine Guards died before they could even land on the floor.